So, Marisha, what is your number one advice to those who do not know how to establish their self-worth?
So, my number one mantra, my number one motto is living residue free. I think as an individual, we don't realize how much residue we have in our life from our past that holds us back from moving forward, that holds us back from establishing healthy relationships, that holds us back from even launching out, trying new things, starting new businesses. Residue from our past is our biggest culprit. And so my mantra is all about living residue free, getting rid of the residue from our past so that we can move forward in our purpose, wherever God is leading us or wherever you feel you are purposed to go, living residue free. That's my number one.
What is the best advice you could give to mothers who are going through divorce?
So I would say this: keep your children out of it. One, don't use your children as a pawn. Many of us women, we do that to get back at our ex. Children are children. They're not supposed to be played with. They're not supposed to be manipulated to try to get something out of the ex. The one thing that I was very transparent with my son, I wanted him to know when I didn't feel well emotionally, when mentally I was off balance. But then I also wanted my son to realize his dad basically did what his father did. So his father did the same thing to his mother. So again, we go back to how we raise our children or who we become. He basically did the exact same thing his father did. So his father was distant from the family, although home, but his father was a drug addict, but distant. And so my former mother-in-law didn't understand why her son repeated the same cycle that his dad did to her. And so I wanted to give my son a context of, well, this is your dad. He's not perfect, but guess what? He loves you. And that's all that matters. And so trying to put a positive spin on it. But again, that's not everybody's story. But again, we are creatures. We internalize things from our childhood. And so try to keep the children out of it. If the dad is not, because some dads are not in their children's life and they made that decision. But the question is, do you really say that to the child? You really got to be careful with your words because children hold on to it like a nursery rhyme. And that fingerprint on their subconscious, they won't let that go. And so you want to be really careful with what you say to them.
It's a long cycle, long process, but I think the biggest part of that process is forgiveness. Holding on to anger hurts you. How to heal and forgive. And here is one brilliant quote from Byron Katie: forgiveness is just another name for freedom.
Mhm.
So let's discuss how to heal and forgive.
So this is the piece with this is the piece with forgiveness. I love that. It is all connected to freedom. But again, the question is, why are you holding on to something that is not helping you? That is the question. And that's one of the reasons why we hold on to residue. That's why we keep residue in, because we are holding on to something for some reason. And I would say for myself, I wanted to make my ex look bad and make me look better. Well, why? When I have hurt people too. Nobody is perfect under the sun. And you cannot move forward and go backward at the same time. The question is, where are you trying to go? And so that's all connected to mindfulness, living in the moment. And so many people live in the past. They can't even embrace, they can't even breathe and believe in the now. And that is really what forgiveness is all about. It's not about forgetting. You will never forget because of the imprint. The question is, can you breathe and believe right now that there is more in front of you than what's behind you?